Yo, what's good, people? We back at it. Back at it for another week, another episode of What's the Word with LJ Mental Podcast. As always, I'm your host with the most, LJ. We back in here, you know. So, this week, um, it's kind of funny. A few reasons. I'm gonna get into the word of the week in a minute. Summer coming up, man. It's been wild for a lot of people. We've been talking about this pandemic for a long time, and it seems like it's coming to an end. Will it be declared an end? Who knows? But things just coming, getting back to I guess what was normal. Like I see less and less people with masks. Gyms opened up. Restaurants, bars, all this other stuff. People all having a good time. The numbers is down too as far as the COVID numbers. Um, but yes, it's reason why it's funny because looking at this, I watched the Mayweather Logan Paul fight. Right, I know it was an exhibition match, but yeah, I wanted to see it. Anytime Floyd getting back in the ring, yeah, I want to watch it. Unlike some people who watch Floyd fights to see him lose, I want to see him win because I'm a big fan of Floyd Mayweather. Like just his style, like the man is just a very skilled boxer and is probably the most skilled boxer ever. Like we talking offense and defense. Ain't nobody quite like Floyd. Um, but yeah, I watched this fight and word of the week I think is relaxation. I was playing around with I was gonna be a word of the week, but it's relaxation because Floyd is basically includes cruise control and it's a couple of other things too. I'm gonna talk about why this is the word of the week. But I'm starting off with this Floyd fight because it's all about that money, right? And if you look at Floyd's history, short history of exhibitions, um, he went out in Japan, fought a guy who was smaller than him, but I guess he was undefeated at the time. But Floyd just Floyd beat his ass. He did. Um, yeah, Floyd just went in there, did his thing, got an easy eight figure payday, cruise control, easy. Now this fight over the weekend, Floyd fighting a guy who's much bigger. This is the biggest person he's ever fought. And he stepped in the ring with Logan Paul, who's obviously a YouTuber. He's not a professional fighter. Um, he, yeah, he stepped in the ring with him. 6'2", 50 pounds heavier than Floyd. But nobody gave dude. Well, some people I know, some of my homies actually wanted to bet on the fight and just pick Logan. Thought Logan Paul was gonna win. Technically, there wasn't a winner because it's an exhibition fight, and there was no judges. There were no judges for this fight. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, there were no judges for this fight, and I don't know if they would have called it. I guess you would have had to call it a win if Floyd would have knocked him out. But I'm hearing these people on sports shows talking that like, oh, this was embarrassing for Floyd, and oh, he should have not. I'm like, dude, did y'all really watch this fight? Like, talking about he did better than he thought. Floyd beat his ass. Did y'all watch the fight? Like, it wasn't close. Like, he got in a couple shots. Like, Logan Paul got in a couple shots. He did. But for the most part, Floyd controlled that fight. He did. He beat his ass. He did. Like, it's obvious. The first couple rounds, you could see Floyd toying with him, which a lot of people probably, I thought that's what he was going to do, trying to check. Basically, had his hands up most of the fight, just trying to see where he gauge where he was and how to figure him out, which is what Floyd does most of the time. He tries to gauge his opponent, see where they at, see if he can gas them, and one, just figure out a strategy, the way how you gonna approach it to beat him. And that's basically the same thing he did for this fight. Trying the first two rounds, he gauged to see where he was. You could say Logan Paul won the first two rounds. He probably did, even though he didn't land probably any shots. That little flurry at the end of, I think it was the second round, he wasn't hitting him. Like, he wasn't hitting Floyd. Like, He was blocking and dodging most of that round. But people pay close attention. Floyd actually knocked him out in the end of the sixth round. I don't know why Floyd held him up. If you look at the end of yeah, it was the end of the sixth round. Um, Floyd catches him, he dodges, hits him with like a counter punch, and looks like Logan Paul is about to be laid out. But Floyd, like you could see it, he holds him up. If Floyd would have sidestepped or just got out the way, he probably wouldn't. I don't think Logan Paul would have got up. I don't. Because you could tell between like past like the fourth round, he was gassed anyway. And Floyd didn't look tired at all, which is crazy because um, retired boxer or not, the fact that he's still in peak condition, and he obviously don't train as heavy as he used to, I'm sure, but the fact that he's like 44 and still like can go in there, he could probably go in there in 15 rounds and not be tired. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm sure Floyd, if he was to do the pro fight for 12 rounds, I don't think he would be gassed for it. It just goes to show you the condition and the stamina that boxers have. Like, it's incredible that they have that much stamina, especially somebody as legendary as Floyd Mayweather. That just goes to show you the experience versus somebody who's not experienced in that field. Logan Paul, this dude was gassed after like the fourth round, and Floyd was just in there chilling. So he was on cruise control. But if you look at that fight, like, it wasn't close. Like, Floyd beat him down pretty badly. And obviously, like, you could say, oh, Logan Paul is using his weight a little bit on Floyd, but it wasn't close. It wasn't. And that's what you'd expect from somebody you could argue is the greatest, if not one of the greatest of all time. Floyd is in my top 3 of all time, boxers of all time. Just if you know boxing and talking about boxing skill, like the casual fan will say, oh, Floyd is running from his opponent. He's not running. He's trying to figure out the best way to beat his opponent, whether he win on points or whether he knock him out. Like, the objective is to hit and not get hit. Floyd has had that philosophy for years. Like, Floyd has made a living on not getting hit, not getting touched. He basically made 9 figures for the better of his last, 8 fights, upwards of 80 to 100, 200, $300 million. His last 8 to 10 fights, easy. So at this point, Floyd don't got nothing to prove. He's beat everybody you put in front of him. That's a pro. People were saying he was scared of Pacquiao. He beat Pacquiao pretty easily. He took Canelo Alvarez to school. And that fight ages like a bottle of fine wine. Because the better Canelo gets, the more he wins. It just makes Floyd look better. Because to this day, Floyd Mayweather is the only person to beat Canelo Alvarez. What does that say about? Granted, he was younger or not. What does that say about Floyd? Still to this day, he's had a lot of fights since then, and still to this day, Floyd Mayweather is the only person to deliver a defeat against Canelo Alvarez. That just shows to show you how great Floyd is. Like, so this fight, some people saying it's embarrassing, it's bad for boxing, which I don't think it is. It just goes to show you they could make a fight without the promoters getting in the way, and it just really kind of makes the UFC look bad. I don't know, it seems like Dana White and them are robbing the fighters. Like, he's going to show you all these boxers getting all this money, and UFC fighters, especially the top guys, are getting paid, but basically crumbs compared to what the top boxers are going to get. But yeah, it's crazy. But Floyd did his thing, and Floyd, if you look at that fight, look at the 6th round, Floyd knocked him out. If he would have got out the way, I really don't believe Logan Paul would have got up. He wouldn't have beat the 10 count. I really don't believe he would have. He was already gassed, and Floyd caught him with that shot, and he was heading to the ground. It was over. That fight was over. Like, I really don't believe he would have got up. I don't. To beat the 10 count. But for whatever reason, Floyd let it go on to 8 rounds. I don't know. Maybe because of the exhibition. I have no idea why he held him up. I don't know. But Floyd, I think, knocked him out. You could say maybe he would have just fell and got up, but I don't think he would have got up. I don't. I think that would have been a KO, not a TKO. That would have been a KO. But it is what it is. You can like, love, or hate. I don't think this fight don't change wherever you stand with Floyd. You still there wherever you at on how you feel about Floyd. Um, which brings me to my next topic. I think the same thing can be said about LeBron James with the Lakers first round playoff exit. Um, LeBron James and his team, this is the first time he ever been eliminated from the playoffs in the first round. This is similar. I think LeBron is chilling right now. He relaxed. He's in cruise control right now. He wasn't in cruise control while he was playing in the playoffs, but there's a lot of injuries. He came off injury. Not that that's an excuse, but yeah, quick turnaround. He won the finals last year because of the pandemic, delayed season. Won in October, and then that quick turnaround after playing in December. Like, yeah, that's a lot. So, and it just goes to show you, as far as the NBA right now, most of the teams that was deep in the playoffs last year, not even playing right now. Like they all out of the playoffs now. So, but yeah, and what shows you like LeBron is in cruise control right now is, I think he can see this is he getting close to the end. I don't know. I hope he got a couple more years in him, but yeah, he getting close to the end. And the way that he do post game interview when he got eliminated, he goes to talk about like, yeah, I'm gonna be watch out for me and Bugs Bunny and the crew talking about Space Jam, the movie Space Jam. He's in cruise control right now. He's in the stage where he's focused on other things outside. He's still, I believe, focused on basketball, but he's focused on entertainment. He's been a producer in some TV shows and some films in the past. And who else but LeBron James to take over, have a Space Jam sequel? It couldn't be nobody else. It had to be LeBron to follow the legacy of Michael Jordan. And LeBron is in that conversation now where people saying, oh, is he the GOAT or not? I still think Jordan is the GOAT, but LeBron is right there. If you're going to have somebody, a successor of Michael Jordan for a Space Jam sequel, it can only be LeBron to star in it. It can't be anybody else. To follow that type of legacy, that level of greatness, it can't be anybody less than LeBron. It just can't. So that movie comes out July 16th. We gotta definitely gonna check that out. But the fact that he brought that up after, it just shows you like, hey man, he got a full off season now, and hopefully he come back 100%. And he did say, I remember when he first got his ankle injury, that he's never going to be the same again. But who knows? He's going to have an extended off season now, come back and probably be better than he was this year. At the end of the year, because LeBron, I think is still going to be great while playing, but it just ought to show you he got other interests now. He does that show. I forget the name of the show on HBO, where they in a barbershop or whatever, but he got that produced, and I'm sure he's probably gonna do other movies, but yeah, it's getting to that point where I think LeBron getting close to the end of the NBA career. He in cruise control, similar with Floyd. They kind of similar. Floyd Mayweather is a unique situation because he's the only fighter to never lose professionally, 50-0. Nobody else has that record. But yeah, they kind of in similar spots right now as far as relaxation and cruise control. Floyd getting an easy payday right now. And, I mean, you could like it, love it or not. I don't have no issues with Floyd getting in there and doing that. I mean, somebody offer you $100 million to take the fight a scrub, hey, why not? He's retired. At this point, would you want him to go in there and fight Triple G? Like, I wanted him to fight Triple G before he retired, but not now. Or would you want him to go in there and fight Earl Spence? Like, no, Floyd's not going to do that right now. Like, he's retired. So if he can go in there and fight some tomato cans, and get $100 million, hey man, I ain't mad at it. I can't be a hater, man. I respect it. When I see stuff like that, how can you not just get inspired? Instead of hating on greatness, you should get inspired by greatness. You see things like that where Floyd worked his whole life to get to that level where he can do that. I mean, that's inspirational to me. Stuff like that. You could say he cocky or whatever, but I'm inspired by it. Um, it just goes to show you his level of greatness for so long that he's earned his spot. He owned his own company with Mayweather Promotions, and he could basically do whatever the hell he wanted to do. I mean, that's dope. That's inspirational. So yeah, that's great. But I want to talk into just to switch gears a little bit. I wanted to talk about something that's interesting. I always love a good hip hop debate, right? An eternal conversation, right? Who's your top five? Who's better between Pac and Biggie? Like, it's gonna go on to the end of time. That great barbershop debate, right? I love a good hip hop debate, right? And recently there was something put out there, right? The Mount Rushmore of the 2010s, right? And they, on those faces, they've had, obviously, Mount Rushmore, you gotta have four instead of five. It's kind of tough to have a four, but I think of the 2010s or whatever, this current generation, I think it's pretty close. They had Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and I think they had fans at like who should be the fourth spot, and then a lot of people chose Nicki Minaj. That's not a bad one. Me personally, I would have put Big Sean at that fourth spot because I think there was a big three between 2010 and 2020. There was a big three. It was them and everybody else. To me, I think that was Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. Those were the big three. The top dogs as far as skill set, fans, whatever, however you want to put it. I think Kendrick and Cole got the lyricism, they got the charts, and they got the fandom, the mainstream audience. They got all of that. And Drake, even though I think Kendrick and Cole are more skilled rappers than Drake got some skill too. And he's obviously, not even argued, he's the biggest draw, the biggest artist in the world for the past 10 plus years. I think Lil Wayne probably had it pre-2010, maybe 2011, then Drake just took over and ran with it, and he's been the man ever since. But I think as far as skill set, J. Cole and Kendrick are right there as far as popularity, and I think they're better rappers than Drake as far as skill level. But yeah, I would put Nicki is dope. Nicki is a very, very dope rapper. I think she arguably be the greatest female rapper of all time. That includes Lauryn Hill. I mean, we gotta get off this thing about Lauryn Hill being up there. She's been touring off of the Miseducation Lauryn Hill for 20 plus years. It's an amazing album, it is, but come on. We can't keep putting you up here off one album. You can't keep doing that. I know she had the stuff with the Fugees or whatever, which is dope also. Like, she's dope, but you can't keep putting her up there off of one album. Nicki has a body of work to back it up. And she actually got on a track with Jay-Z, Nas, or not Nas, I'm sorry, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Kanye, and she had the best verse on the damn song. So I don't know if any other female artist could have did that. Go on there with all of them and have the best verse on the song. Yeah, I don't know, but I think Big Sean is in that fourth spot right behind him. Big Sean is right there as far as skill set, popularity, albums, body of work, whatever. Big Sean is right there. I will put him in that fourth spot. I think it's a big three, and Big Sean is just a slight notch right below them. It's not a big gap, but it's a little bit of a gap between them. I think it's them three, Big Sean, and everybody else. Big Sean is right there, even though I think the other three are a step up from Big Sean. But yeah, Big Sean to me is right there. I would definitely put him right there with those other guys. But this is interesting, and I know Fat Joe had recently put out his top five of current rappers, which I think is interesting. He had Lil Baby, Drake, Cardi B, um, Benny the Butcher, and Roddy, which not bad. I would tweak it myself a little bit. I probably got Benny at number one, honestly. I think what Griselda is doing right now, and I'm not just being biased because I'm from Buffalo. They grew up probably a few blocks, couple miles from where I did. So, but nah, I think as far as the skill set, kind of like what Griselda is doing, there's been something missing for a long time. I know a lot of people are saying that, but they making it their own sound. I don't think they biting nobody. Like they kind of took the whatever New York sound, whatever you want to call it, made it their own thing. Like they wouldn't follow no damn trends. They just went and was themselves, and it paid off because they dope. They're very dope. They're putting out some heat right now, and I think they only gonna get bigger and better. So I mean, yeah, I think I would put Benny and Conway top two probably right now. But then I would probably go Little Baby. I'd probably put 21 Savage. Um, yeah, it's tough right now. And the Baby. Yeah, that'd probably be my five right now as far as artists that's I guess on the come up. I guess we do so to speak. But again, I'm probably my five as far as right now. Yeah. Yeah, those guys are dope. All right, so last thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here. I thought this was very interesting. I thought this was very interesting when I heard this. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it. And I've always been into conspiracy theories. I'll entertain a good conspiracy theory if it got some interesting parts to it. I'll entertain it. I like a good conspiracy theory or a good like with the flat Earth thing or whether it's round or flat. I don't believe the Earth is flat, but some people still do. The point that I'm getting at is it's quite possible. We don't know. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on this. But it's possible that they've heard that they might allow space travel to civilians, so you don't have to be an astronaut to travel in space. Now I heard it's possibly gonna cost a whole lot of money, but who knows? Over time, maybe that price will go down. When there's a new product or something new that's gonna launch, obviously the price is gonna be sky high. Maybe that'll go down over time, like a lot of other things do. But the thought of that is incredible. I would absolutely do it if they allowed something like that. That will be fire. And automatically when I heard about this, the first thing I thought of is, because I got some friends that believe the earth is flat, and I've argued this with them. This will kill any debate whatsoever. If you yourself can go into space and see the earth from outside, this would kill any flat earth debate. If you could just imagine and be like, yo, I was in space, bro. The earth is not flat. I seen the shit. The shit is not flat. This would kill any flat earth debate whatsoever. Now, I'm thinking they probably wouldn't allow people to go to the moon, but they probably maybe go to space station. I have no idea how this shit works. I'm not at part of NASA or an astronaut, but the thought of it is very dope. If they really start allowing civilians to travel in space, that would be incredible. I've always wondered, I've always liked the many different stars that they've discovered over the years. They've discovered inhabitable planets outside of Earth, outside of the 9 planets. I remember back in the day, all we knew was the solar system, the sun, the moon, and the 9 planets, right? But there's so much more beyond that now. All these discoveries, these big stars, bigger than Jupiter, bigger than our biggest so-called planets in the solar system, right? I've always been fascinated by that other life on, and I believe there's other life on other planets. I truly believe that. But just the thought of being able to kill any flat Earth debate intrigues me. Cause that would be just so incredible to just kill that debate and say, listen, man, the Earth is not flat. Or be like, oh shit, you right, the Earth is flat. Just look, it's a fucking disc. Like the shit is a disc, and I seen this shit. So yeah, you just imagine to be able to say, oh shit, this shit is a disc. This shit is flat. Or be able to say, listen, shit is not flat. It's a motherfucking globe. Stop saying that stupid shit. It's not flat. Just imagine being able to tell people that shit, right? Because that just the thought of being able to kill that debate is great to me. Or just seeing what this shit in space in general. That would be fucking fire. So I hope they do allow it. I heard it's gonna be extremely expensive. Um, I don't know the full price point, but I heard it's gonna be extremely expensive, and maybe over time, like as things do. Um, just imagine like when computers first came out, how overpriced they were. Cell phones came out, they were overpriced. I remember seeing the first 4K TVs, how expensive they were, and then now 4K TVs prices started to go down. Just using that as an example because things are vastly overpriced when they first come out, right? But yeah, just imagine being able to do that. I just thought that was really interesting when I heard that. So I would love to be able to do it, and if I ever get the chance to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't know about y'all listening, but yeah, I would definitely be down to do that shit. Hell yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Just some yeah. I went in a couple different places. The main word of the week was relaxation, mainly because of what I said about Floyd Mayweather and Lebron. But yeah, I went into some other things that I thought was interesting and wanted to talk about. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Um, have a safe rest of your week. Um, do your thing out there, handle your business. I'm out.